Good morning. I think I got some better sleep last night than the first night here. I think maybe the bed is uncomfortable or something. I was still doing a lot of times tossing and turning, but it was decent enough, I guess. Anyway, breakfast. We need to get something for breakfast. There's actually a Mr. Donut right across the street, and they open here in just a little bit at 7:30, so I think we'll start there. One thing I definitely want to check out today is the main Kanazawa train station. It should be one of those nice big stations with lots of cool things to do on the inside, so I definitely want to go run around there. It's about 2 kilometers from here though, so I have to do a little bit of a walk, but I don't mind. So I may do that right after breakfast. We'll see. The weather looks good outside right now, but I think it's supposed to get cloudy with chance of rain come near the afternoon or so. So doing something sooner rather than later would be better. But we'll go get some Mr. Donut first and get some good donut food knocked out for breakfast. Well, that was yummy. It looks like things over at the main Kanazawa station don't open till closer to 10 o'clock, so I think somewhere around 9:30, 9:45 or so I'll leave here and start heading up towards that area. I think it'll probably take about a half hour to get up there. And then we'll cruise around the station most of the day, and then probably get lunch up there and then head back to the hotel before it starts raining. We'll see what the weather does. Right now it looks fine, but we'll see what comes later. Time to go check out Kanazawa Station. I'm definitely staying in the ritzy part of town. Louis Vuitton, Breitling, there's a Rolex store near here too. I was chuckling to myself because a bus just went by. It says bound for Kanazawa Station. It didn't even occur to me that I could take the bus up there. I'm so used to walking. That's fine. Stretch my legs for the day. There's Kanazawa Station. Beautiful looking building. High glass ceilings. Beautiful gateway. And the clock there is a water fountain. When it changes time, the water changes different spouts. I'll get a little bit closer look of it. There's a display here for hometown sumo wrestlers, all from the Ishikawa Prefecture. And the second guy on the left, he was just on the news last night. Local champion got inducted. Advertising for the World Expo 2025 is actually in Osaka, Japan this year. I don't think I've mentioned it yet, but I will be there with special guests. Some of the restaurant options in here. I just walked past a sushi place that looked really awesome, but they open at 11 and it's only a little after 10. I may try to find a place that opens a little bit earlier. Looks like most open at 11 according to this sign. Try to get lunch as soon as they open maybe. Yummy. I found a place selling little dessert cakes. I may have to take some of these back to the room for later. Found a place open early. This is just a pre-lunch snack. That was a perfect little snack, quick and easy. It's equivalent to about $4 for a little bit of rice, miso soup, and I had a mackerel. That was delicious. I think I might wander through a little shopping mall area next. Definitely not going to buy anything, just shelf checking. I found Detective Conan. You all learning Japanese yet? Shinkansen is the bullet train. The section of shops I'm in now is where all the gifts are at. A lot of little gift-giving shops. Richard was telling me that Kanazawa is famous for gold leaf, and I've seen some products, whether it's a little bit on food or in some craftware souvenir stuff. There's definitely some gold leaf going on in this little market area. I got myself an ekiben for lunch. I'll have that back at the hotel, and now I'm going to get myself a couple of cakes to go. Alright, I think I'm all set here. Time to head back. Not a bad little station. Not too busy at all. We're kind of in a back corner of the country, so not too popular, but definitely tourists come out here. Well, that was fun, just running around the station and seeing what they got over there. There was people, but it never felt crowded, which is always good for me. So let me show you what I got as far as little trinkets that I brought back. Here's the lunch meal I picked up. So a bento is just a boxed lunch. So this would be a bento. Eki is what you would call any type of station, like a train station or whatever. And when you buy a boxed lunch at an eki, instead of bento, it's an ekiben. So like if you were taking the bullet train all the way to Tokyo, and it still would take a couple of hours. So you get yourself a little ekiben for the trip, and you have your meal on the go. And these are the two dessert items I picked up. The one on the left is a little chocolate cake, and the one on the right is a tiramisu. It looks awesome. I'm going to have that for dessert later. Well, it's now 6 o'clock, and I'm kind of thinking about what to do for dinner. Those two pieces of cake I had have just topped me off nicely. I'm not feeling hungry at all. I've got a little bit of snacks left. Not a lot, though. I may just munch on that, go to bed, and get a big breakfast in the morning. And keeping an eye on the weather and stuff outside, out the big window. And the weather today's been fine. There's been no clouds that look like it's going to be raining at all. So there might be some rain chances overnight, but the weather's been fine all day today. But this is all I like doing on 0 days as usual. Is mainly just laying around and resting my feet. Don't feel like doing anything else. Tomorrow we're hiking on to a hotel and then hanging out with Richard again for a couple of days. So we'll get to see him, some of his family, some friends, some more shenanigans we'll get up to. We'll see what's going on there. But that's what's coming up in the next couple of days. And that is it for now. I'll just check back one more time to see if I'm doing anything else, but probably not. Yeah, we're now past sunset. I think this is going to be it for the night. Hiking out tomorrow. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all in the morning. Good morning. Still not the best sleep last night. Maybe it's the firmness of the bed or something. Something's off compared to the other beds I've slept on. But anyway, we're hiking out today. Leaving Kanazawa. Got to go through a mountain pass to get over to the Takaoka side of the mountains. And meeting back up with Richard later for a couple of days, hanging out with him. Today, weather is good. I think there was still supposed to be like cloudy and rain in the forecast, but it looks like that never developed. The weather outside looks fine. And I think it's less than 30 kilometers, so we should be able to knock that out pretty easy. I'm finishing packing up, and we'll grab some breakfast on the way. On our way, heading out of the big city of Kanazawa. First stop was a Family Mart. Load up on supplies. Okay, we're all set. Time to get out of the hustle and bustle of the city. We're turned on to Route 359 now, heading north. Another Texas Hands pizza place. I can't remember if I got the first one on video. It was kind of busy going through town. I'm curious as to why the naming and who founded this place. It's a little chain pizza place. Wondered if the guy's actually from Texas or not. I can see the elevated train line for the Shinkansen up ahead. Morimoto Station. The bullet train does not stop here. It just passes right over, literally. Crossing the tracks. I think I'm finally starting to feel like I'm getting a little more rural and outside the city. Passing by 7-Eleven, I'm going to go ahead and load up here for any lunch supplies I might need. It's still on the early side, so I don't know what my lunch options are going to be. Shortly here we'll be starting to get into the mountains. So I'll probably just load up here and this will be my lunch stuff. All set with my lunch supplies. Just a couple more kilometers up and we should be diverting through the mountain pass. I'm about to be crossing under the Hokuriku Shinkansen line again. And there's a little sign here that says there's a park to the right where you can view it better because it's kind of obscured with the barrier and it's always above. But I'm not going to take a diversion to go back that way. We'll get some views later. There's a sign there for a Michino Eki coming up in 1 kilometer. That's cool. I didn't really know about that one. I wasn't paying much attention to everything that we got for today. But that timing wise is going to line up perfectly for stopping in and taking a sit-down lunch break. I'll probably just eat all the snacks I just bought at the 7-Eleven. Here we are at the Michino Eki. Looks like a couple of buildings around in a group. Places should just be opening up for lunch. Kurikara Genpei no Sato. I like how they constructed this part to make it look like an old style building or something. I think this room up here is your typical information sit-down chill spot. This waiting room area is kind of cool. They've got some displays set up. This may be one of the most dangerous creatures out here I gotta worry about. There's definitely black bears out here, but this little guy doesn't look so big and scary. Here's lunch. Ham, egg, and mayo sandwich. I've got a couple of rice balls. We got tuna mayo, salmon, and some apple Danish in the back there. All done with lunch. Time to head into the hills. Head over to the Takaoka side of the mountains. Traffic is thinning out, so that's good. Doesn't seem to be too much going up this road. Looks like a Buddhist temple here going past. I love all the woodwork. And a lot of it's all done with no nails, just interlocking pieces of wood. Temperature feels a little warm. It's maybe around 25. You got the intensity of the sun on you. But there's a little bit of a breeze blowing through, so that's also keeping it a little bit cool. So overall, it's not that bad. We're at the point where this road merges with Route 8 and goes into a tunnel. This road's had little to no traffic, but Route 8 is pretty busy. Richard was giving me a heads up because he's very familiar with this area. And this tunnel right here has got no shoulder, and it looks pretty bad with all the traffic. It's pretty narrow. So there is a safe way around he was telling me about, and it's not really going to add much distance at all. So we're going to go up and around and rejoin on the other side. It's a nice little scenic route. No traffic this way. Looks like we're at the top of the pass. It's all getting windy now. This is nice. It's getting kind of stuffy with hot air. But it looks like we're crossing into Toyama Prefecture now. Oyabe City, and Oyabe is where we're ending the day. As soon as we come out of the pass here, come into town, Oyabe is the first town, and there's a Michino Eki we'll drop into, and we'll get picked back up by Richard for hanging out with him for the weekend. Joining up with Route 8, and looks like no sidewalk here. There's some tunnels coming up, but they're supposed to be not as bad as the one we just went around, so we should be fine going through the future tunnels. The Genpei Tunnel, 827 meters, with the sidewalk. It looks like a cool samurai helmet. And into the next tunnel. We survived the tunnels. That should have been the last one, I think. Continue to drop down out of the mountain passes up here. Only about 2.5 kilometers. Oh, there's a sign right there. Meruhen in Oyabe, Michino Eki, 2 kilometers. Okay, almost there. I can see civilization. First town we should be coming up to is Oyabe. I can see the bullet train track way in the distance. It stands out kind of obvious to my eyes. I don't know if it can show up on camera very well. Here we are, the Michino Eki, Meruhen, Oyabe. Richard's on his way to come pick me up. This is more his neck of the woods. He just happened to be in Kanazawa on business. We were able to meet up for a dinner, but now we'll be able to hang out for this whole weekend. Take a couple zeros together and just kind of chill. See him here shortly. Okay, here we go. We found Richard again, getting me situated in a hotel. I'm all cleaned up, good to go. Thanks again for getting me set up.
Oh, you're most welcome.
And we're gonna move on to our next destination, meet some family and stuff, and then end up at dinner somewhere, I guess, later on.
Dinner somewhere, yeah.
Yeah. So
the night is young and so are we.
We'll see
well,
what
you are.
We'll see what we can get up to later. All right, let's rock. Well, I've had a good time chatting, meeting the family, having a good conversation. Now me and Richard are moving down to a little izakaya place to get some dinner. Starting out with a beer. Checking over the menu. It's a nice little local place. Okay, this is a yummy little course. What do we got here?
We have skewered pork here, and we have ground chicken balls here.
Yummy. Okay, we'll try this stuff. And back in the hotel. That was a fun night. Thanks again to Richard for taking me out. A little local izakaya place. It was just like the Japanese version of a pub. Good food, good drinks, good conversation. That was a lot of fun. But we'll get up to some more stuff for tomorrow, taking a couple of more zeros through this weekend, and seeing some local sites. So that is it for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all in the morning.